this is Samina Sheikh here, and with me today I have a very interesting person who's literally making the noise on Zoom channel. So welcoming Prajakta Koli on Zoom.
Hello.
I would like to know how this idea came to you of being a YouTuber, going completely digital. What was the thought process behind that?
It didn't come to me actually. It was Siddhi Lahiri's idea. He works with Conditional Entertainment. He came up to me and he said that I should become a YouTube creator because he saw something. And I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's. And at that time, I was a very broke radio intern. I was not making any money. And I was 20. I was 20, I remember. And I was like, listen, like, I want to have a life. Like, I want to have a job. I want to earn money. Like, there are things I want to do. So, like, what is this YouTube? Like, how is that going to help me? And he's like, just come and meet me. And he actually seeded that idea into my head. And that's how it started. So, I have no credit in that. I did not think of it at all.
And talking about the current scenario, you're doing a lot of projects. You are a part of a lot of projects. And talking about the current one, which is about Marvels. Tell me about your association with this one and how was it like, giving your level best audio?
It was great when it came up to when it came to us. I was just like, first of all, it's such a monumental thing, right? It's one as an actor, as a fan of Marvel, as a creator, I just feel like any sort of association with the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the Marvel Universe is huge. I thought my extent of that is going to be when I promoted, like I had a little bit to do with the promotion of Captain Marvel or like Avengers, things like that. And I was like, that is the most. Because as a creator, that's all I can do. This was never even a thought that came to my mind that they would come to India and they would make a whole show and I would get to be a part of it. So monumental, definitely a dear diary moment in the life of a person like me who's been such a fan. And I think I just happened to work with people who kind of like, for example, Mantra, who's our director, was just such a he was so clear in his head with what he wanted the show to be like or how he wanted the show to progress that it made my life as an audio actor very easy in the process.
But also, it's quite a different one, being associated with Marvel is one thing, and it's an audio storytelling, which also means people have to imagine what exactly, you guys are talking about, what exactly the scenarios are. And that's very difficult to get into that imagination of someone's life or, making someone imagine something. Like, for example, if I'm reading a book, I would be imagining such situations, while reading that book. Similarly, when I'm hearing an audio, that focus needs to be there. It's a very difficult thing.
But
Why doing
I used
this?
to think that too. I used to think that too till I heard this show. And not just this show, any of the I think when someone like me who's so new to listening to podcasts and audio shows or anything fiction, non-fiction, we think that जैसे मुझे भी लगा था कि वैसा ही होगा जैसे have those old shows like we were just talking about it on radio used to have those shows that used to come or when I was doing radio I used to be a part of the little bit production but when you really listen now the production quality of the show is beyond any imagination. It's crazy how immersive this is. My second show with Audible. The first one I did was called Desi Down Under, which is about these 3 kids who go to Australia. कितना ही कर लोगे क्या? When I started listening to the show, I said, how immersive can it be? How well can the world be recreated in audio? And every scene after scene after scene, I was so surprised with how well it's done. So you think that till you listen to your first show. And it could be any show that you like, any genre that kind of kept you hooked, any podcast that made you feel like, okay, I want to keep listening. But it's extremely immersive and it pulls your attention. So it's not an effort to stay focused.
Prajakta, coming to one of the videos which I saw, and I anyway see your Instagram profile, and I've stalked you sometimes, because you are very inspirational that way, and some fun videos. But there was this one video which really I was really attached to was when you were showing your Cadbury ad to your parents, and I think that was one of the moments when you also expressed like your dad was working in the Cadbury factory and
Yeah.
years ago, and finally you were featuring in that ad. How do they see your growth as?
They're very proud and they've been supportive since day one. I feel and I always acknowledge this privilege. I understand the privilege that I grew up with because I never had the struggle of trying to convince my parents to agree to what I want to do in my life. Even when I went up to them and told them about being a YouTuber, there was no follow up question. There was no, Are, but you've been doing radio. How do you earn money there? How will you do that? Who are you working with? Who is this? But there were no follow up questions. And उस टाइम पे आई नो दैट अगर जरा सा भी उन्होंने डाउट दिखा दिया होता आई वुडंट हैव डन इट बिकॉज आई एम माय पेरेंट्स चाइल्ड आई एम द ओनली चाइल्ड I I am very, very dedicated to them. I have grown up to be very close to them, and at this age, when I'm 30, I still live with them, and it's a very friendly relationship we have. It's like we're roommates and we're all living together in one house. So I'm very attached to them, and their opinion means a lot to me. So they have actually been very supportive since the first day. So even when things like that happen, it's a collective win for the three of us.
And when you got engaged, how was their reaction to that? Because a roommate is definitely like after a point will have a different, house, or if you're planning to shift, along with your partner someday.
Yeah. They were fine. They were good. They knew about it before they happened because Rishank had gone and spoken to them about it. I had gone and spoken to them about the fact that it might happen sometime. So they were fine actually. They were again very happy. Went very well.
Coming back to Marvels, there is this voice of Jaideep Alabad as well as of Jennifer Winget. Did you come across them, Jennifer Winget, or even like Jaideep Alabad, while you were preparing for this one, so that to understand different characters, or were you doing it all by yourself, all alone?
No, actually, because none of our dates kind of overlapped with each other. So I actually finished recording my bits for the show at the top of the scale. Like when the show first went into production, I think I was one of the first people to record. And I was done in about, I don't know, 5, 6 days, uh, within a week. And I met Jaideep very recently, and he's like, I still have some things to record. So it was very far off from each other. I unfortunately didn't really get to record anything with him or with Jennifer. But we met and hung out when we were doing promotion. So that was nice.
And as we talk about your work, Mismatched is still the popular show of yours. And we have seen both the scenes, and and your chemistry with Rohit is just too good. If you're going to give us more good news on that, will this continue as a series or does it stop?
I really don't know. I really wish I had answers for this. I don't. I get this question so often, and I'm just like, I don't know if you'll believe me, but I really don't know.
How was it working with Varun Dhawan, Anil Kapoor in Jug Jug Jio for you? How was it like, being a part of a Bollywood movie and, doing something different completely?
It was great. It was everything I dreamt of. I mean, first of all, it was a Dharma movie, which has been such a dream. Which is such a dream for any Bollywood fan. The fact that Raj and Karan kind of even thought of me for such an integral role in the film was a huge win. Varun and I we actually interacted a little bit before the movie, so I was heavily dependent on him. Like I was stuck to him the first 2 days every time we were on set. Like because I didn't have any friends. Like I was so nervous and I was like nobody. Everybody was so warm and so welcoming. Not just him, even Kiara, even Neetu ma'am. Raj, our director, had a huge role to play in kind of making sure that I felt comfortable on set and I felt welcome. And it was just the first day, first scene, and then I had a blast. And it was I've made friends. Eka, who was the costume designer on the film, her and I, we hung out so much, and she's so sweet. And I've been in touch with her and her team. I've been in Media and I, we've been in touch actually. So that's been very, very sweet. So overall, it was lovely. It was nothing like I'd imagined it would be. I was worried that, I'm going to be that loner on set sitting in a corner when nobody talks to her and nobody knows her because, like, who is she? It wasn't like that at all.
That's nice to hear. And as we proceed with this interview, we talk about the upcoming projects. What is keeping you busy of late?
Um, the only thing keeping me busy right now is a book that I'm writing.
Oh, wow.
which is quite exciting and also daunting and challenging at the same time. So that is the only thing I'm doing as of now. We have a couple of things lined up from November. So I have till then to finish this book. Hopefully, I will. We have a couple of releases with Prime that should come out next year that are very different from anything I've done before. And then we'll see what else.
And lastly, what kind of roles interest you, your attention for that matter? Do you prefer doing romantic roles, or do you also prefer doing something which is very classical love story like that of Sanjay Leela Bhansali? And what kind of projects do you want to attract?
All of them. I genuinely think I'm so new. I don't get to pick and I don't want to pick because I haven't tried them all. I don't know which one I like more. So I want to do everything. I want to do all kinds of love stories, thrillers, I don't know, horror, mysteries, like, biography, everything, every kind of content that is being made, I would love to be a part of. So I'll know which one I like more.
Well, that's nice to hear from you and Prajakta. This was lovely interacting with you. All the very best for your upcoming project and hope to see you soon in person than in
Yes, I
virtual
will.
to have a better
Yes.
interaction taking forward. Thank you so much for a lovely time.
Thank